Good morning, YouTube. Hey, it is 6:38 on London time. So that makes it 1 in the morning, but 1:30 in the morning, New York time, 12:30 in the morning, Central, something like that. A little fuzzy up here this early in the morning. Time for the daily mate press. This is yerba mate. It is a very fine source of caffeine if you're a caffeinated type of person. So by all means, enjoy it if you do that. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So, some early points. Let me pull up my notes here. First of all, if you're new here, welcome to the challenge. And cool if you want to check out this video. I also want to welcome the new subscribers from yesterday. I am very fulfilled that you're finding value in the content. So it's really cool to have you along. And this channel is nothing without you. So thanks for being here. Let's see. That's it. If you are new here, you should absolutely check out the intro video. That'll be linked on the end screen. You'll see on the end screen, you'll also see the 30-day challenge playlist. And if you're jumping in after day one, you can use that to catch up properly. I do suggest following the daily videos as you go. So just do one per day if you can. If you do want to watch through them, that's fine, but use the video for the day. It will actually engage the necessary time for neuroplasticity to take hold and to actually implement these habits in a significant way, right? To where they stick. This is not just going to be oh, let's do this for 30 days and then we go back to normal life. We are going to make these new habits normal life, right? So it's going to take work, and that work takes time and repetition. So we can't just skip to day 6 and start on day 6 because you'll miss a whole lot of learnings from the first few days. And that learning has to sort of take hold. So that's something to remember here. And if you might be tempted to just jump forward, and it's fun to maybe watch the stories and get the tips, but definitely at some point match your day to it. The other big thing is you've got to watch the intro video. The intro video explains everything. It explains the neuropsychology behind this. And without that emphasis, it's going to likely result in the same way like a New Year's resolution would, which is we're excited to jump in and we start to sort of revert back to the mean, right? So definitely start and pace yourself through the days. That's definitely the way to do it. Let's see. With that, let's talk about some questions that came out of day one. And I'm glad that we did this. And these are good questions. So the main point coming out of day one that deserves a response is the bracketing tasks have to be really deliberate, right? So you've got the starting task and you've got the ending task. And I like to use working out as the habit that we're trying to adopt. So the starting task has to be something that's like sort of very almost ritualistically at the start to working out. What I mean is if you go into a workout, right, and mentally, if you're thinking about a workout and you haven't gone yet, the task of working out, that's not necessarily something that you do all the time because it's a new habit that you're trying to adopt, is in front of you, right? And you've got to go engage that task. And what will happen is mentally, what will happen a lot of times is the workout gets seen as a separate task sort of on its own, right? And when we're going into that task, right, or when we're approaching it in the day, right? That could be in the morning, or maybe some people like to do an evening workout or whatever it is. We have this sort of idea that there's this physically strenuous thing in front of us that we know we need to do, but maybe isn't, the most fun thing when we're very sleepy or when we're tired during the day or something like that. And what will happen is that sequence of events will be considered from the starting point of something that we don't like, So that could be, feeling the physical exhaustion of working out and then having that memory come up, right? It's, oh gosh, like I'm already tired. If I don't know how I could possibly start a workout right now. That's the typical thing that will happen in a habit that we're not really, enjoying, but that we know we want to adopt. And so then we end up kind of fighting ourselves. The thing to do is to have these deliberate brackets, and the starting bracket has purpose. It has specific purpose, which is to create a first easy step of the workout, right? But we can sort of ritualistically, subjectively even, choose what we're going to consider as the first step, right? So um, I like to use the gym shoes example. I was going to grab my gym shoes, but they're in my gym bag over there. I like to use the gym shoes example, right? So I'm sitting at home and I have a workout that I'm about to go do. And I know that I need to, go do a bunch of strenuous exercise, right? Hold on, there's a lot truck outside. Sorry. I know that I need to do that really strenuous exercise. So, okay, there's this significant task in front of me. I feel fairly energized. I do have my yerba mate here, and that'll help. In any case, uh, uh, the the prospect of doing that task sort of goes away once you start it. But we can choose the starting point, which is the bracketing task, right? It's the starting bracketing task. Sorry, I need to do this one. Make sure I'm talking about starting task, ending task. The bracketing task, right? I mentally make the workout start, the workout process, right? The act of going to the gym and working out. I mentally start that task once I have my gym shoes on. I go, okay, boom, I have started the workout habit as soon as I finish tying my shoes, right? So that's, you could even do it the second you start to put your shoes on, right? That uh, uh, engages the dorsolateral striatum, right, in starting the task up. And what that does is the basal ganglia then take over and go, okay, I'm starting a task that I know the process for. I'm going to switch all the mental stoplights from red to green. Okay, cool. Well, not all of them, but certainly more of them than otherwise would. So it sort of kickstarts the basal ganglia into making the parts after the starting task much easier, right? And this is what actually either engages or suppresses actions, right? In terms of automaticity and how we just sort of naturally feel like doing things. And good habits that we have well established are ones that kind of happen by themselves, right? So the starting task is really important, and it needs to be something that's very deliberate, right? And that you have chosen that is, somewhat related to the habit that you're trying to adopt. So I can't work out without um, putting my shoes on, right? Or maybe you're doing a shoeless workout, but you've probably got to, put some type of workout clothes on so you can make it that if it's, that type of workout for you. But the bracketing task has got to be something that's very mentally deliberate. It's very significant. It's on its own, and it has to be something that triggers this process. Okay. The ending task, right? The end bracket is actually even more important than the starting one. Now they both need to happen, but it's more important and for a completely different reason. Because okay, once again, the ending thing needs to be something that is sort of either ritualistically or contextually related to the habit, right? So for me, my ending task is a recovery shake, right? When I drink that, it's like, okay, mentally, workout done, and good job because you finished the habit that you're trying to adopt. That's what I'm telling myself in my head, right? And you need to tell yourself that in your head sort of clearly and strongly. It's like, it's good that I did this. It's a very good thing, both in terms of my health, in terms of adopting better habits. So the idea of a workout becomes easier and happens more on its own. These are all good things for me. And you sort of mentally congratulate yourself for doing that, right? It makes it even stronger if there is a deliberate task that's a part of that, right? So the deliberate action. So boom, recover. So workouts finished. Boom, recovery shake. It's good that I did this. Very good job. Like way to go. Like we're gonna do this again tomorrow. Like good job, right? That engages a dopamine release, and that dopamine release is the key to repetitive actions, making actions easier, making them more uh, repeat likely, if you will, right? It makes the future versions of that easier to do. Why? Because it colors the task with a positive valence of memory and emotion. And that sort of starts to get into the subconscious, right? And those colored experiences, once we encounter the prospect of working out again, which we will tomorrow, right? Or whatever the habit is for you, and whenever you're going to do it, likely it's a daily thing, um, that memory, that recall is going to feel good. And that keeps the mental traffic lights green as well. So the idea is to just do this over and over and over again until it almost happens on its own, until it even feels weird if we don't do it. Right? That's like the holy grail of habit adoption. Right? It's when, oh my goodness, like I, I didn't work out this morning and I feel weird about it. That's where we want to get to, right? So we feel awkward that we didn't do it because we do it so regularly and it feels good when we do it. So uh, that's the goal. That's why the bracketing tasks are so important. One more word of warning here: do not reward yourself for finishing the task, excuse me, for finishing the habit with something that is contextually not related to the habit, right? And what I mean is, okay, I want to work out and I'm going to reward myself with, a little ice cream from the ice cream stand. Your brain knows the difference. And what will happen is you will start to resent the workout because it's in the way of the ice cream. That's what will happen in terms of reward circuitry in your brain. So do not put the end, excuse me, don't put the end task as one that has nothing to do with habit. Try to make it sort of part of the habit. The recovery shake is part of my workout habit because it helps me gain muscle and it helps me regain energy after using it in the workout. So these are really important things. Okay. And don't skip them and make sure they're related. The habit needs to sort of exist on its own, right, in your head, right, sort of separate from things. If you need to use a triggering uh, action, that's fine. I know one of the challenge takers for this round is she like feeds her cats, right? It's like that's the sort of kickoff task in her mind. It's okay, I feed the cats and then I start my workout. Great. You could actually, the way to do it is actually to say, okay, to start a workout, I have to feed the cats, right? It's weird, but it works because it switches those mental traffic signals to green that would otherwise be red if we weren't thinking that we actually started the workout, right? So that's the key. Make sure it's, like I said, deliberate starting task, deliberate ending task, okay? Or is that I confuse my left or right? In any case, deliberate starting task, deliberate ending task that have somewhat to do with it, the habit overall, and then making sure at the end to tell yourself, good job. It's good that we did this, right? This is healthy. It's something that I want to do. And that's a big, big deal. Okay. So, with that, good luck. Have an excellent day. And remember to get the tracker or set up your own tracker. You see the links in the video for that. And track your progress, right? Um, the last bit, actually, I forgot one thing. So, yesterday I talked about getting an idea of, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much friction there is to start this habit. So, when you're about to work out, like how much do I really feel like it? Do I really have to push myself to start? What we're going to do now, and I'll show you this on the tracker that I have and in tomorrow's video, is we're actually going to start writing a number down, okay, of how much friction there is before we start a task. And to more accurately describe this friction idea that I'm talking about, so it's a rating of 1 to 10 of just that moment of decision when we're about to start something that we know we need to do, but maybe we don't really want to do. Just how bad that friction is, right? If it's a 10, it's like, my gosh, I just do not want to do this. Like, this is just really, I'm like either really exhausted or I'm really anxious. Maybe like, I'm just really nervous going into the gym, which I completely understand. So we're just trying to capture that information a little bit, right? Um, Still use the bracketing tasks, right, to try to get yourself going into the habit, and then to use the reward circuitry to um, reinforce repeatability of the habit, but try to capture that number, right? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how much friction there is, right? And so each day, just put that number below the X, or no X if you didn't do it, because that's fine too. And yeah, no, that will show the contour, right? And it will show it goes. It's a piece of showing how much we have a habit adopted, right? So important things to do. Sorry for the pretty long video this morning, but that's how we want to approach these things. So again, good luck. Have a great morning, and I will see you tomorrow morning around the same time. Take care, guys.